Thanks for watching this video, proudly brought to you by AN Immigration Services and Consulting. Please ensure that you watch this video at high resolution for best video quality, as we are going to walk through the application process and the eligibility criteria in applying for an extension on your subclass 462 work and holiday visa. This visa lets people 18 to no more than 30 years old have an extended holiday in Australia and work here to help fund their trip and to improve cultural understanding. The visa is only available to citizens of countries with which Australia has a work and holiday arrangement. You can enter Australia on no more than 2 subclass 462 visas in your lifetime. This video is intended for applicants who want to apply for an extension on their subclass 462 work and holiday visas on or from the 12th of April 2024. The content in this video is for reference only. Therefore, please seek professional advice about the content in this video. Many hours of work have been spent on depicting the complex legislative requirements in full for this visa in a format that visa applicants can follow and understand easily and visually. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video. Let us be part of your journey in Australia and support you throughout this journey. Let's start. The red lines in this flow chart are answers no to the question in a decision step. Please commence from start at the top. Answer the question in each decision step. Follow the direction of the arrows to guide yourself through the detailed application process and eligibility criteria. There are 2 steps in applying for this visa. The first step is to submit a valid visa application. There are limited circumstances in which you can submit a paper application. If you are authorized to submit a paper application, please ensure that you follow strictly the instructions from the authorizing email sent by the department. If you submit a paper application and you do not have a dependent child, an $80 non-internet application charge is also payable. You need to lodge an internet application using Form 1208. The visa application charge is $635 as of the 12th of April 2024. Depending on whether you are applying for your second or third subclass 462 work and holiday visa, you need to complete specified subclass 462 work for a total period of at least 3 months or 6 months respectively. Under migration policy, 3 months is taken to mean 88 days. Your 88 days specified work needs to have been undertaken on a full-time equivalent basis. Part-time and casual work is acceptable, but the sum total of the work performed needs to equal 3 months full-time work. We have included a link at the end of this video to a legislative instrument about specified work and areas for subclass 462 visa. There are areas of Australia which are classified for the purpose of specified subclass 462 work. That is, you need to carry out the work in the specified areas. Other than areas of work, the kinds of work are also stipulated in the legislative instrument. The different kinds of work that you can carry out in the specified areas of Australia to qualify as specified subclass 462 work are as follow: tourism and hospitality work, critical COVID-19 work in the healthcare and medical sectors, recovery work in relation to flood, cyclone or other severe weather, bushfire recovery work, fishing and pearling work, and tree farming and felling work, plant and animal cultivation work and construction work. The timing when you carry out those work is also important. If you apply for your second work and holiday visa, you need to perform the work when you held your first work and holiday visa, and the period must be on or after the 18th of November 2016. If you apply for your third work and holiday visa, the work must be carried out on or after the 1st of July 2019 while you held your second work and holiday visa, or while you held a bridging visa associated with your application for your second work and holiday visa. You must hold a valid passport issued by one of the specified countries. These countries, with which Australia has a work and holiday arrangement, are Argentina, Austria, Brazil, Chile, China, Czech Republic, Hungary, Israel, Papua New Guinea, Portugal, Singapore, Slovak Republic, Spain, Switzerland, United States of America, Uruguay, Vietnam, Ecuador, Greece, Indonesia, Luxembourg, Malaysia, Mongolia, Peru, Poland, San Marino, Slovenia, Thailand and Turkey. An expired passport is not a valid passport. If you have lost your passport and cannot produce it on request, you do not hold a valid passport. If you do not currently hold a specified valid passport, you can only make a valid application if the specified passport expired after you entered Australia using that passport and you are currently in Australia. You can apply for your second or third subclass 462 work and holiday visa in or outside Australia. If you apply in Australia, you need to hold a substantive visa or have held a substantive visa within 28 days immediately before your application. A substantive visa means a visa other than a bridging visa, a criminal justice visa or an enforcement visa. The second step is meet all eligibility criteria. Some eligibility criteria apply both at the time of application and decision, whereas other eligibility criteria only apply either at the time of application or decision. We are going to walk through the eligibility criteria that are assessed at the time of application only. Age eligibility is only assessed at the time of application so that visa processing time does not adversely affect your application outcome. You must be at least 18 years of age when you apply for this visa. However, you must be no more than 30 years old at the time of application. We are going to walk through the criteria that are assessed both at the time of application and decision. You need to have a valid passport issued by one of the countries that we have previously mentioned. If you do not have a valid passport, you are only eligible if you meet all these 4 conditions. You are currently in Australia. You used a valid passport issued by one of the countries we previously mentioned when entering Australia. The passport expired after you entered Australia. At the time of decision, you hold a valid replacement passport. You seek to remain in Australia as a genuine visitor who mainly want to spend a holiday in Australia. If you intend to abide by the conditions of your work and holiday visa, including the work limitation, and you will leave Australia when you are no longer able to remain lawfully, you are considered a genuine visitor. If you intend to apply to extend your stay in Australia after your subclass 462 visa ceases, for example, by applying for a visa as a skilled worker or a spouse or de facto partner, you may still be considered to be a genuine visitor for the purpose of this genuine visitor criterion. Unless there is strong evidence to suggest that you would breach the conditions on your 462 visa, you would generally satisfy the genuine visitor criterion. You need to have sufficient money for your return airfare when you depart from Australia and for your personal support during your stay in Australia. The money for your departure fare must be in addition to the money you have available to support yourself while in Australia. Work and holiday visa holders can supplement their funds through short-term employment in Australia. Applicants are required to demonstrate they have sufficient money for personal support for the initial 3 months of their working holiday. Generally, $5,000 in addition to money for a return airfare would be regarded as sufficient to cover the initial 3-month stay of a 12-month working holiday. You can have dependent children. However, during your stay in Australia, you cannot be accompanied by any dependent children while you hold a 462 visa. The definition of dependent children is very wide, which also includes a person who has turned 18 and who is dependent on you. The specified subclass 462 work criterion will be assessed again with additional requirements. In addition to having completed specified subclass 462 work for the total required periods of time, you are remunerated in accordance with relevant Australian legislation and awards. Your work has been paid work, appropriately remunerated, with pay slips provided to the department as evidence. Additional checking is performed by your case officer, checking the hourly rate of pay on the pay slips provided by you against minimum wage rates. You carried out the work not for an excluded employer. Excluded employers are those specified by legislative instrument and pose a risk to the safety and welfare of a person performing work for, or under the supervision of that employer. We are going to walk through the eligibility criteria that are only assessed at the time of decision. You need to satisfy public interest criteria, in particular, the character and health requirements. Please note that with the health requirement, health waiver is not available. If you have previously been in Australia and you apply for this visa outside Australia, special return criteria also apply to you. The department must be satisfied that you intend to comply with any visa conditions for the visa you are applying for. Foreign affairs students or recipients are not eligible to apply for this visa. You have not held more than 2 subclass 462 visas, including the one held at the time of decision. Thanks for walking through the application process and the eligibility criteria with us. Please subscribe to our channel, like and share this video so that we can provide more content to support you.